this is kind of a good question. They're like, as a laundromat owner, what horror stories about the business can you share with us? So I don't want to like scare people away, but if you had one thing that maybe you'd share, like, I wish I would have done this differently, or anything you could share with new people.
Well, I mean, I have some great horror stories. So our laundromat used to be an extremely high crime area. I learned a few weeks after we closed from my insurance broker, who called to tell me, "Hey, did you know there was a shooting in this laundromat last year?" So it was like really rough area. Um, there was naturally a lot of friction as we're trying to set new standards for the area. We've had people come in, and I think there was some woman who was like peeing all over the floor, and then she takes her pants off and puts it in our washer and is demanding that we start it. And then she throws, the soda across the place. She comes back the next day threatening to stab the employee. So yeah, there were certainly some stories like that. Um, yeah, I could probably go on, but I don't know that I should.
So I guess, how do you address that? Like, do you get police involved in like a bigger presence and
Yeah,
say,
so
I'm trying to, have a community business here and
yeah, I mean, knowing what I was getting into when I started the construction project, I invested very heavily. Like we spent about 40 or $50,000 on our camera system. And it's super high end. It's got all this AI recognition. It's like real corporate level. It had some accreditation where it's government approved. So we were able to go to NYPD, say, hey, look, I know that this is a this is a sore spot for you, this corner. We're here to help. We have this camera system. It has these capabilities. How can we help you clean up this corner? And we had a lot of support from the police. We were able to give them live access to the camera system. When I called, they came immediately. If they didn't, I was able to go above them to the commanding officer. So it was just like constantly calling police all the time, getting orders of protection, following through with it. And eventually people are like, okay, we're not going to mess with this laundromat.
that's good. So you were able to be successful.
Yeah, now, I mean, believe it or not, people cannot believe like what a night and day difference it is outside. They actually feel safe. They don't feel like they have to cross the road. So it really did end up making a huge difference.
What about you, Brian? Anything you want to share, a horror story?
I mean, like it's our horror stories seem to involve bodily fluids and unruly customers, right? I don't think I'm any different than anybody else because a lot of times when you have the demographic from our target customers to be successful, you usually end up with the Venn diagram overlaps with some interesting personalities in your neighborhood. It's funny, I found out last week we are known as the strict laundromat, which
Mm.
isn't one. But so I'm always going to loop it back to people, right? Like just having someone here and keeping your store clean sends a message. Like I can take camera snips of, you know, people in bad shape coming to the front door that slides open and them look inside and they're like, ah, it ain't the place for me. And they move along. And, like Jake, I don't want to call it a partnership with the police, but we have aligned expectations with the police. They call when we call, they come. But because of the way laws are or not enforced in our state, um, at the end of the day, it's not the police that's the problem. They want the same thing. They want to get these people to move along. And once we got aligned that, hey, all right, if you're calling me to have them move along, cool. If you're going to worry about them getting prosecuted, we're probably not going to be on the same page, but that's out of my hands. So having the dialogue with them, making our camera system, available to them because it hits a couple areas where stuff has happened. I don't know that anything happened because of that, but we're on the same page and it's been nothing but good.
That's good. Are either of your laundromats open 24 hours?
Not yet. We're open. Our last wash is at 12, but we're planning on going 24 hours.
Okay.
I will not. Not that's when bad stuff happens, and I don't want to get a call in the middle of the night. So yeah, we're closed by 9 p.m. Last wash at 7:30. We'll open again at 9 a.m. the next morning or 8 a.m. on the
Oh, wow.
weekends.
Okay.
Yep. I mean, look,
Um,
there's other, I don't know that there's a 24-hour laundromat in the area. It's just not our culture. We're not the city that never sleeps. We're the people who live in
yeah.
the sleepy suburbs. But, if you want to do your laundry a little earlier, a little later, there's a couple options a mile or two away. So there's options for people, but I don't see the incremental revenue worth the risks
Right.
of being open later. So I don't do it.
Well, it's also a financial commitment because you got to pay someone to be there and lock up and all those things.
And they don't
So,
want to be here, right? I mean, that's the thing, is the later it gets, the more people get worried about being there, being alone. And it's like, because I'm not going to do two people at night just to make one feel comfortable. So
yeah, makes sense.